shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Rip left.
On first down, Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. The first carry now. This is Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. So first and second down went the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. To throw is Wentz. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Ready? Mark 57. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Look at me. Sit back.
Throwing on first down, Lawrence. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Godwin away and bring up second down.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. That one good for 24 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
97's the mic. 97's the mic. Here we go. Hey.
On first and 10, Lawrence going deep downfield for Ross. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On second down, Williams. And he'll be upended at the 33 following. And guess what? It brings up third down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. A pretty nice effort.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 38-yard line. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 38. Throwing his Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football. And guess what? I throw it to him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be taken in at the 1. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Big stop, let's go.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Might have needed just one more block as it stands, 37-yard return.
Down, 8 feet. 5. Tight end's right. We got 4. Go. Shoot.
On first down, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Lawrence. Open man is Ross, complete. That one goes for 30 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do? Put a man on him. The big thing to me.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Now Wentz. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 52 yards. If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Marcus Davenport in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Fairbairn on for the field goal. A 41-yard attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, orbit. Ready?
Throwing again. Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll try the left side. Swift. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
How about his performance last week? Over 200 yards. I think his decisiveness. One cut, and he goes. That's what's really made him pile up the yardage.
And the yardage he piled up last week, easily honored with NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I would have voted for him.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Double tight, guys, double tight. 4 down. Check.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Wentz firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. So we've come to... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they're on the heels of that nice win last week over the Packers. Off the bootleg, Lawrence being chased out left. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
97's the mic. Double dog. That's the way.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Looking to throw. Lawrence. He'll rifle this one deep right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
they are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And out now come the Eagles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Again, it's Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, it's Wentz. He's got it complete to Thompson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. Oh, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
15-9.
Off the bootleg. Lawrence. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. John Ross, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just 1 shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run it again with Williams. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. On 3rd down, here's Williams. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now this throw caught left side. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Past the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Fairbairn good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to him.
They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Off the bootleg, Lawrence. And he fires one incomplete.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Back to throw. Lawrence under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Derek Barnett. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Looking for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not going to do that this time. Let's just praise him. My goodness, 4 receiving touchdowns means he's been a variety of coverages throughout this game because they're not just letting him run scot-free. They're trying their best to shut him down, and he's shredding them.
I got to be honest, I want to see 5. You want to see 5? I mean, we're not supposed to be biased, but
we're not rooting. Just in the interest of the game, let's go ahead and see 5.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give, right side. Swift. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Look at me, zipper.
On 4th down, Lawrence going deep downfield for Ross. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Wentz to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Now Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Previous play is under review.
Here comes the ball. Here we go. Mike, 55.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
A gain of 13. It's a first down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Schwartz. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Schwartz. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a give, right side. Swift. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Put it, 18, Gator. Check. Hey, team 6. 57's Mike. Mike 57. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration. 57's the Mike.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.